The question is, why should you learn how to sing different genres than your own? Well, there's a really good reason for that. Because the thing is that in order to sing different genres of music, oftentimes it requires you to use different technical aspects in order to create the sound or the style. And anytime you learn a different way to approach the voice, that is going to teach you more about your instrument and how to actually use it. And that might actually inform you on how to sing in your genre in a different, better, more efficient way. Okay, so I'll give you just a really quick example of sort of how this actually worked for me. When I was an early opera singer, the last part of my voice to actually come in and be strong was my middle voice. I had lots of high notes, I had the low notes, but the middle voice was very, very weak for many, many years. And so I worked on it very diligently with all of the tools that I knew that my teacher was giving me in a classical way. And what happened was I was at the Academy of Vocal Arts at that time. And so at the end of the year, I went home for the summer and I was teaching. And most of the students that I was teaching in that summer were singing musical theater songs. And so I was helping them with their vocalism in musical theater, even touching upon belting and mixing and such. And truth be told, that summer I didn't practice my classical music so much. And so what ended up happening was that when I went back to AVA the following fall and I started singing, all of a sudden I noticed that my middle voice was actually present. It was clear. It was much stronger than it had ever been. And it wasn't because I had been pounding away at my classical technique to try to get it to come in. It was that I sort of stepped away from my classical technique and I was just singing along with my students, or I was belting my favorite show tunes in my own private studio and using my voice in a different way for a few months. And that then all of a sudden got my mechanism to work in such a way in the classical repertoire that exponentially changed the way that I sang in my middle voice. So if you're a classical singer, go to a teacher and learn actually about the technique of belt. If you are a belter or a rocker, go to a voice teacher and try to find out how to actually sing like a classical singer and see what those techniques can do for you. I promise that you're going to come out with a lot more knowledge and your voice might even grow in ways that you never knew were possible.